Hello, welcome to Cerulean Arts Gallery. Tonight we're speaking with Ginny Perry in conjunction with her Cerulean Arts Collective Exhibition, which is up now through October 13th. Hello, Ginny.
Hi, Mike.
Thanks
Um,
for being here tonight.
yeah, my pleasure. My name is Ginny Perry, and I'm from Upper Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I live in a beautiful rural community close to the Delaware River. I recently retired as a high school art teacher after about 24 years. Before that, I was an illustrator and graphic designer. While I was teaching, I always continued my own art practice, especially during the summer months, where I was involved in PAFA's studio critique program, a program Mike facilitated for many years.
Yes, that's where we met
Yeah,
first.
yep. Now, now I do my own art practice full time, for the exception of a few days where I volunteer at a local nursing home and hospital. Nature has always been my biggest inspiration for my art, mainly because I'm surrounded by it. This is evident in my Delaware Canal series of paintings. These paintings were inspired by my hiking walks on the canal path. I'm intrigued not by the beauty of the canal, but more about the discord, like fallen ash trees, old osage trees, dried up areas of the canal, the ducks, the herons, the croaking turtles. It really truly has its own personality. I also love to capture the foggy days, ice on the canal, little passages that you might see, just like that one right there, and spots of snow on the banks. I love capturing interesting and unusual sights. Actually, that was a practice I learned from a professor called Seymour Reminick many, many years ago. He always said, always focus in on those interesting areas. And I just never forgot that. My next body of work reflects my experiences as a volunteer interfaith lay chaplain at a local nursing home. I love documenting the residents I meet through portraiture and sometimes gesture drawings. Occasionally, I'll draw as I'm listening to a patient, of course, with their permission. People always ask me that. Yes, I do ask permission, and also if the patient is not able to respond, I ask the family if it's okay. And but mostly I work from my home studio. I visit dementia patients, hospice patients, and patients suffering from debilitating ailments. Some of my pieces are abstract and some are realistic. My pieces can be heart-wrenching, but are created with gentle tenderness and compassion. I find the stories and legacies fascinating. It's a privilege to listen to these lovely people's stories and creating their images, to honor their rich lives. So, this piece right here, I could talk about. This is actually when I do my walking on the path, I always see this osage tree that looks like it has faces in it. Maybe I'm the only one that sees it, but I actually see faces. And if you turn this upside down, which you don't have to do, but there's actually another face when you turn it upside down. So I really enjoy looking at these trees. I think, I don't know how old they are, but I know they've been around a long time.
It
And
seems to
also
be
some of the,
a piece that sort of connects both bodies of work here.
yes, yes, yep. Yes, that's a nice way of putting it. Yes, yeah. And that
And you
one
use,
of the,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say the one that was the orangey blues. Yes, that piece right here. I'm just really fascinated with the little passages, little tunnels that I see that maybe are, they're surrounded by bushes or fallen trees, and I just can't focus in on that area. It's really quite stunning. It's not like the canal is not like you this predictable beauty where you see flowers everywhere. It's not like that. It's there's a lot of disorganization. There's from storms but I just love documenting it.
So can you talk a bit about your materials? Because you use a lot of different materials,
Yes.
some solely and then a lot in combination.
Yes. Um, I sometimes do I like to work on top of other paintings. And like if there's something that I have discarded and I pull it out and say, I could add more to that. And the word is called palimpsest. I hope I pronounced that right. Palimpsest. That's what it's called.
Okay.
It's a practice where you work on top of other artwork. And I always like to leave remnants of the old piece. I know it's there. Maybe you won't, but I know it's there. So that's something I love to do. And some of these paintings are just, they're acrylic, and I might do washes first and then work with a thicker technique on top. Sometimes I'll use markers. I'll use acrylic markers sometimes for details. I do a combination of different things.
So when you're out in nature, do you make like sketchbook drawings or photographs, or how do you
I
make
do
notes
both.
type stuff?
I do both. Yeah, sometimes I will stand there with especially in my sketchbook. I'll do a quick watercolor and make some markings in it, and then and also do photographs. And if I'm not sure, if I start something, I'll remember, the next time I go back, I have to, examine that a little bit closer. So in a way, I'm doing both.
And how do you um do studies with the nursing home work series?
I will sometimes I do sit there and draw them. Most of the time I take photos. And but I change them too. I don't follow the photos exactly. I always add some other things to it. This person, this woman, her name is Patrice, and she loves being my model. And even on days where she is feeling awful, when she is maybe feeling depressed that she hasn't seen her daughter in months and months and has no idea where she is, I'll say, Patrice, can I document this? And she go, absolutely. And she's in a lot of my pieces, and it's such an honor. She's such an interesting, intelligent, vivacious woman. But she's just in a bad situation. She doesn't have a home, and just her daughter who she never sees. And it's but she loves this because she feels like often she'll say to me, "That's me. That's me. You're honoring me." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah,
I mean, so is that an important part for you in doing these?
absolutely. Absolutely." These people, I know these people. I talk to these people. I spend time with them. I visit Patrice every week, every week. Now, some of these are, I've changed, they're not a particular, yeah, I have someone in mind who I'm doing here, but I do change it. I do change it up quite a bit because of, of dementia. They're not really aware that I'm doing this. So I may think of them as I'm doing the piece, but it's not really them. It's not an exact likeness like the ones I do with Patrice.
So have you done any like art making with the residents at all?
I have, yeah, I have, yes. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Sometimes I have to be real careful. I will sometimes they're not sure what to do with the paper or the brushes and um yeah, and some of them I really do have to guide along, but I yes, I have done that. Yes.
Hmm. It just occurred to me, given your background as a teacher.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. But what I do at the nursing home is mainly just listening and talking and being a chaplain if they would like that. Not all of them do, and that's fine.
And so do you hope the viewer, I mean, do you hope to communicate something specific to the viewer of this work? Like to compel them
You
or
know,
just increase understanding or,
yes. I um to to be aware of the elderly and that they're in this is very lonely. This is a very lonely time for many of them. And they miss their families, they miss their homes, they miss their careers. And I think it's important if you have a relative who's in a nursing home or even just living on their own, visit them, engage, listen to their stories. Some of their stories are amazing. Patrice, this woman, right now, um, she was a surgical nurse and she also rode her Harley Davidson around the country.
Hmm.
She was a pistol. Wonderful.
Huh.
And the woman on the left is a dementia patient. Of course, I changed the appearance so it wouldn't look like her, but that glare, that look is what I'm trying to capture. And she will smile and maybe communicate a little bit. But there is something there. There is still something there.
So are making these works, or is it hard on you?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes yeah, it's heartbreaking.
And do you find the landscapes like you know, like a release or a antidote to like this body of work or this, just the sphere you have to work in?
Yeah, yeah, yes. That's a good point. Yes, when I'm on my canal walks, I am in a almost like a meditative state. I love it. I absolutely love it. And again, I like capturing discord. I like, it's beautiful, it's interesting. And I see so much of it on the canal. And at the same time, I'm getting exercise. I'm meditating in a way. And it's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful experience. Yeah, this piece is very it is sad for me because Patrice has lost many, many friends at the nursing home, people that are very meaningful to her. And in this piece is about her accepting mortality, her, it's about acceptance. That's what this is. And it's very, I mean, you see it in her eyes. It's like, it's sadness. And we often talk about how she can make a difference. How can she have a purpose? And what she does is she has, she's very lucid. I mean, she's sharp as a tack. And she'll go around and talk to patients and advocate for them. And it's really, really beautiful. But it's a very, very tough, tough time for her. Tough. And you can see it in some of these quick gesture drawings that I did. She worries.
Are these done on the spot or after the fact?
I might have, I might have, you know what? I think it was after. I think it was an after. Sometimes I have done drawings on the spot.
No.
This one I might have. Can't remember.
And this one's a little different. I mean, it's like a full portrait with a setting and
Yeah.
the figure and the,
Yeah.
the figure in the background, like integrated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Patrice, I think in this painting, I wanted to show Patrice's elegance. She's she's very beautiful. She sits up straight. I mean, you could see the worry in her face. I think the week before I think she was getting over COVID at that point. So she wasn't feeling great. But I saw her on that chair and I said, Patrice, I have to capture this. And she has the most beautiful hands and she loves to dress up. She's just beautiful and elegant. And she always wears that medal around her neck too, of her favorite. She has a patron saint that, she talks about a lot. And that one called Giddy, it's the one of her with the hand. I think we just passed it, but that's okay. That's when, yeah, this one, yeah, that one. She had just got out of surgery. And I think she was probably coming off her anesthesia, but she was so silly and laughing hysterically. She had surgery on her arm. And I never forgot that. I never forgot that. I just love this piece. And this young man right here, that yeah, and beautiful, beautiful human being. He just passed away, and the sharpest wit, the sharpest wit. He had everybody on their toes at that nursing home. Funny, funny as can be. And he would he always had his wheelchair right in front of the elevator. So he loved to watch people and he would make the funniest comments. And he and his son always came on Sundays and brought him pastries, which he loved. And he was just such a joyous person. That's why I called it Good Life, because he had a wonderful legacy. And the one that is, if you could stop right now, Tina, just the one that's, no, over a little bit more to my right. Yes, that one. That's called Fertile Mind. And it's actually about anxiety. And I had a friend who said to me, because she was talking to me and I was very worried. And I was worried about this, where it could have been my kids. I can't remember what I was worried about. But she said to me, Ginny, you have such a fertile mind, you know? And I love that. So I created this piece, and it's a self-portrait, me in a profile. Um, and I have all the, and there I'm tying in my nature, the growth coming out of my head. And so that was fun to do. And this is also an old piece that I worked on top of. That was shoved away. That was discarded. I pulled it and said, ooh, I'm going to do something on that.
Mhm. The time is right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Well, it's a wonderful show, Ginny.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. It's a pleasure.
The show is up through October 13th. We hope people come down to see it. And everything's also available on our website, ceruleanarts.com. And thanks so much for being here tonight, Ginny.
Pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you, Mike. And thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoy the show.
All right, well, take care and have a good night.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you.